Matter of minutes, it's going to officially be summer here in the Commonwealth. This year, however, will be the earliest arrival of the season in 228 years.
First Alert meteorologist Ben Beddoes explains why this is happening.
Today is the longest day of the year. At 4:50 p.m., the northern hemisphere will reach its maximum tilt towards the sun, meaning today the sun reached its highest point in the sky all year. In Lexington, the sun will be in the sky for 14 hours and 48 minutes. This year, though, summer is coming 18 hours earlier than last year. Why? It has to do with our calendar adjustments.
If we had not counted this as a leap year, then the solstice would have occurred on June 21st in the afternoon. But because of that extra day was added earlier in the calendar, it pushes it back to June 20th.
But we have leap years every 4 years. What makes this year different from others? There are other rules in place for what is known as our Gregorian calendar system. Only the centuries that are a multiple of 400 have a leap year in that last year of the century. This means the year 2000 was a leap year, but the year 1700, 1800, and 1900, the leap year was skipped. The year 2100 will also have its leap year skipped. It's this difference that makes this summer's arrival the earliest since George Washington was president.
Rule of thumb that most people know about leap years is that we add one every 4 years. That's to account for that extra 0.25 of the length of the Earth's orbit compared to our calendar. However, it's not exactly 0.25. There are some other decimal places after that.
It's that very slight adjustment that makes the summer come slightly earlier.
The primary goal that they had in developing that calendar, which gave us all these different rules about leap years, was in order to actually keep Christmas exactly where it is right today.
I'm Ben Beddoes, WKYT.
And Pitts says due to that calendar adjustment, summer will begin earlier and earlier in the future, leap years for the rest of this century. By the way,